Hello. In the last few videos I've been talking about personal accountability. We said that all that matters are inputs, the things that get you the outputs, the results, and that all you can control are your inputs. And personal accountability is about taking responsibility for these inputs, taking responsibility for what's happening in your life right now, in business, in your personal life, whatever. And controlling these inputs, focusing on these inputs. And I want to share a model with you from a book called Leadership Simple. Really cool book written by Steve and Jill Morris. And I mentioned this briefly a few videos ago. In this book, Steve and Jill talk about the triangle of choice. So imagine an inverted triangle with the point at the bottom. And they said the questions you should ask yourself regarding what's going on at any point in time is you should ask yourself this following question: what is my perception of the current situation? What do I think is going on? Now remember, your perception may be realistic or unrealistic, but basically ask yourself, what's my perception of the current situation? 1. 2, what do I actually want from this situation? What am I trying to accomplish? What do I want? What do I want to have happen? What outcome do I want? And what's the gap between the two? And having asked yourself that simple question, you can then go down to the bottom here and say, what am I doing about it? What am I actually doing? What inputs? What am I taking responsibility for? What am I doing to get the outcome that I want, to close the gap between my perception and what I want? Always remembering that the perception and the wants may be unrealistic, but assuming that they are relatively realistic, what can I do to close that gap? And they say, is it working for me? This thing I'm doing, is it working? It's either working or it's not working. And if it's not working, what could I do? What should I do? And then you go up and you start doing this, and then you observe and say, what outcome am I getting? Is it closer to my want? Am I closing the gap? And so on. Remember, we talked about this notion of reasoning, then the actions that you take, your response to the environment, response to what's going on, getting an outcome, a result, reflecting on the outcome, changes the way you think, away you go again in this little closed loop. But this is really what it's about. So you ask yourself the question, what do I want? What's my perception of the current situation? What do I want? What's the gap between the two? What am I doing about it? Is it working? And if it's not working, what could I do? Move into action again. Ask yourself the question, what's my perception? It seems like a very, very simple model, but in fact it's an incredibly powerful thinking model, an incredibly powerful way for you to actually take responsibility, full responsibility for what's going on, and then control the inputs, the things that you're doing to close the gap between your wants and your perceptions of the current situation. So I encourage you to give it a try and look up the book, Leadership Simple, Steve Morris. Great read, very simple, very straightforward, quick read, written like a story, and super good. Okay, enjoy.